How about this one? Apple and others actually may have to pony up some dollars to Wikipedia. This is something you don't often think about. This is like when you go to Wikipedia and they're like, "Hey Will, give us a few bucks. This is
donate,
not for profit over here, and you're enjoying reading this. Give me $1, please." You know, that whole exchange. Well, I guess it turns out that maybe that model is not completely sustainable, or that maybe it was a limited time opportunity, or that maybe it should remain free forever for Willie Do with the option to donate. But big mega corporations that tap into the data pool that's there, and maybe they should pony up a few dollars for the enhancement of that particular platform, because they're using it in a commercial sense when they tap into that. When you boot up Siri or Google Assistant or whatever it happens to be, you can be pulling from Wikipedia on a frequent basis, and Wikipedia is sitting there saying, wait a sec, you're profiting off that, and what part do we play? But this is a common conversation, isn't it? I mean, you had the Australia stuff going on. India was looking into whether or not they were going to change the rules around how companies like Google and Apple operate through the monetization of content, and how much the producers of that content should be involved in that process and all the rest of it. So Wikipedia is kind of in the same spot. There is a new product from Wikimedia, the Wikimedia Foundation, called Wikimedia Enterprise. And Wikimedia Enterprise provides paid developer tools and services that make it easier for companies and organizations to consume and reuse Wikimedia data. So this is like a commercial-facing portion of the foundation, it appears. This is the first time that the foundation has recognized that commercial users are users of our service. We've known they are there, but never really treated them as a user base. Now, the upside of this is if there's a relationship that's figured out, presumably you could have greater support, tools, and even a tighter integration between the technology companies you interact with and Wikipedia's data set. So could be an upside. Hopefully they can strike a deal that works for all parties. Incredible resource, Wikipedia. I mean, it's hard to even, it feels like one of those things on the web that if it were to vanish, you'd be like, whoa, what happened here? This was something the internet needs to have.
Everyone needs to go back to a encyclopedia.
Oh my God.
At that point.
Oh my goodness. A paid encyclopedia. Like I used to get, you would buy a new computer and it'd be like, you get the Encarta for free as a deal.
Oh yeah.
But normally it would be paid $60 or something like this. But of course the problem there, Will, is who writes the encyclopedia? Whose facts are they?
Look at that.
Imagine
searching for Encarta ended up in Wikipedia.
You see what I'm saying here? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that wouldn't make it into the encyclopedia as well, right? It would be a problem like what's happened with dictionaries. Like you go to look for the definition of a word, 17 different places pop up, and you end up just using the Google related. That's the argument. Is like Google is sourcing those results for somewhere, but you're skipping having gone to the site. Even in the case of Wikipedia, if you go back, look, you can read mostly what you want to get. Microsoft Encarta was a digital multimedia encyclopedia. You did not click through the page. Anyway, there's a lot of conversations about how this is all going to map out, and disputes are constantly ongoing. But anyway, I'll just say Wikipedia, wonderful resource. Hopefully these tech companies can just throw a few bucks, a little tip here and there. I don't know.
Sure.
Build a relationship. Maybe it's possible.